Hello, welcome back to my channel. So I got some spoilers for you guys from Rachel and Doug from Love After Lockup. Let me give you a little bit of backstory. We saw the last episode, Rachel, she called Doug's parole officer before she went to pick him up from prison. And she's like, what's his stipulations? And the parole officer said he can only leave the house between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. He has to be home all weekend, and he's going to be on an ankle monitor. And Rachel's like, okay. So she called Doug on her way to get Doug out of prison, and she told Doug the stipulations that his parole officer put on him, and Doug was not having it. He's like, oh, that's not going to work. I'm going to have to get a new parole officer. And Rachel, she was just annoyed, like, why can't you just go with the flow? Why are you being so difficult? And I don't think it's a matter of his parole officer. I think it's a matter of his parole. And I could already tell that Doug was already pushing the boundaries before he even got out of prison. And, now I'm not surprised at these spoilers that I found out. And the spoilers are Doug is currently listed as an absconder from parole on the Michigan Department of Corrections website. And it says that Doug, he was flagged for tampering with his ankle monitor back in February. And he was charged with it back in March of 2021. So the warrant was issued a few days later on March 8th. And Doug's troubles started well before that. I guess Rachel filed for divorce from Doug on November 9th of 2020, and I guess that just didn't work out and it was dismissed. They didn't follow through with it, but Rachel just refiled for divorce a month ago on June 10th of 2020, and that case is still pending and in the works. So it looks like they are split up, and it looks like, she's found divorce the second time. Obviously, this woman is not happy. And so not only that, Doug's having even more problems. He had a collection agency file a suit against him in April. So I knew this. Wow. I knew Rachel. I knew this dude wasn't going to be a winner. Obviously, the third inmate is not a charm like Rachel was hoping. I mean, this girl has her crap together. I don't know why she wants to find an inmate who can't spend longer than 40 days out of prison like he said before he was on the show. And this man is on the run and she just filed for divorce for the second time. I feel bad for Doug Jr. I just hope Doug Jr. is okay, because she stepped up as a role as a mother to Doug Jr. And if she's filing for divorce from Doug, I wonder where Doug Jr. is going to go. But the address that Doug did have on file when the collection agency was trying to get the money from him was a relative's address. And we saw that he paroled to Rachel's house, so I'm not sure if he ended up moving into that with that relative at a later time, or if that was just an old address that he had on file. But that's it for the spoilers. I'm going to go ahead and do a recap of last week's episode, specifically about Rachel and Doug. So we were talking about, she calls his parole officer and she told Doug the stipulations. He wasn't happy. And Rachel, she packed up a cooler for Doug soon as he gets out of prison, and it was full of beer and his big old slab of bologna. And I don't understand why she had to bring the big old thing of bologna with her, waiting for Doug to get out. And when she said she wanted the 4 Bs when he gets out of prison, she said non-alcoholic booze. So which one is it? Because that was some Bud Light in that cooler you had. That was a non-alcoholic. But I mean, I get it. She's trying to protect him. And, if he's on parole, he obviously isn't allowed to be drinking. So she doesn't want to stay on camera. But I mean, don't open up your cooler full of Bud Light, because you just kind of contradicted herself. So Rachel, she hasn't seen Doug in person since they got married 4 months prior to him getting out of prison. And as of this time on the show, they've never been intimate. So Rachel's mom, she's watching Doug Jr. the first night of Doug's release. So Rachel and Doug, they can get their freak on as much as they want. And I think that Courtney is that voice of reason that Doug needs in his life, but who knows if he wants that voice of reason in his life. Maybe that's why they're getting divorced. But, you know, she was telling him when he was freaking out about his parole and saying he wanted to switch parole officers, she was trying to talk some sense into him and say, like, come on, it's only temporary. It's not going to be like this forever. But, of course, he was still being a big old baby about the whole thing. And Rachel believes that Doug can absolutely follow the rules and do what he needs to do in the free world. And Rachel believes that Doug loves her too much to jeopardize what they have. So Rachel, she was on her way to go pick up Doug from prison, and he requested that she wear a conservative dress, heels, and no panties. I mean, the man's even controlling what she wears to pick him up out of prison. So Doug finally gets out. He says he comes from a big family, and when he was 12 years old, he started getting into trouble, so he could get some extra money in his pockets, and he said his family didn't have the extra to give, so he just made his own way. And Doug says he became the institutional poster child. And the first time Doug went to prison was when he was 17. Him and some of his friends broke into someone's house and cleaned them out while they were asleep. And he got caught and did 71 months. So that's almost 6 years. And then he got out, and he was only out for 40 days. And he got in an altercation, and some people got shot at. And a bunch of people pointed the finger at him, and he went back to prison. So Doug says he isn't worried about going back to prison again. He claims he has a different mindset, he has something of value, and he wants to build a life with Rachel and his son. Rachel should have bought him some clothes to change into before he came out, because he came out with the full prison uniform on and all. So Doug was trying to figure out his phone, and he said he learned what a selfie was from commercials in prison, and he doesn't even know anything about technology. Like, he said social media is new to him. And he made an example of how bad he is at social media by saying that he thought he was having a private conversation with a friend a long time ago before. And the table next to him, people asked him like if he had an STD. But I guess Doug was telling his friend he had an STD. And he thought he was DMing his friend, and he accidentally posted it to his social media timeline and let the whole world know he had an STD instead of doing a DM direct message like he thought he was doing. And I mean, why would you bring this story up on national television? It's like he's loud and proud that he's had an STD. Like, I would have left that part out, dude. But that's it for this video. Obviously, we kind of know what's happening with this couple, and it looks like they're no longer together. I mean, we'll see. Maybe she might decide to change her mind about the divorce the second time like she did the first time. But I'll keep you guys updated as I learn more. And make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Comment your thoughts below and subscribe if you haven't already. And to all my new subscribers, thank you. Welcome to my channel, and I love each and every one of you guys so much. Have a good day. And also, I just want to let you guys know I have a huge exclusive interview with 2 Love After Lockup cast members next Wednesday. I'm not sure. We're still working out the exact time, but it's probably going to be around 7 p.m. Eastern, 5, 6 Central. I'll keep you guys updated, and I'll be announcing who it's with here in the next few days and the exact time. So be looking forward to that. I'm so excited, because I have so many questions for this couple.